An Idaho teacher has been ordered to remove signs from classrooms. Oh, they must be pretty bad signs, huh?
Right.
The teacher had her name written down. Sarah Inama. Okay. So Sarah has 2 signs up in her classroom. One saying the very controversial phrase. In fact, we'll show you the actual signs.
Yeah.
Everyone is welcome here. That's one of them. And in this room, everyone is welcome, important, accepted, respected, encouraged, valued, and equal. And those words that they're all in a column, and they're different colors.
Okay.
So it could be said that beyond being a colorful poster, it's even evocative of, oh my God, a rainbow.
Right. Right.
And then everyone is welcome here. You see, what makes that, in my mind, controversial is their skin is different color.
Right. Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
It just feels like people are actively trying to be offended at this point.
Here's what I think. We've kind of talked about the pendulum swinging on this show before.
Right.
How was I able to predict that Trump would become president again? Because of the pendulum.
Sure.
And how it swings and how we have a very short memory here in America. Here's what I think is happening. I think this is DEI backlash.
Right.
I think that there was this woke mob for a while, and I think it got out of control. I do think that that the left can get out of control and that the right can become too extreme too.
Sure.
And I think that this is an extreme measure. This is almost an anti-woke measure. And I think we need to find some damn reasonable ground in here. I think that the sign, everyone is welcome here, is just fine in a classroom, don't you?
Obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously. And so one thing with this story was that apparently no one had actually complained. It was the administration who said that she should take it down. And honestly, at that point, like, if no one's complained, why are you even drawing attention to it? It's the Barbra Streisand effect.
Well, and yeah, is it someone on the administrative panel going, oh, thank God, waking up one morning and just pissed off at the world going, and you know what can go are those signs in that teacher's classroom.
Yeah, maybe. And also at that point, like, you're looking for reasons to be offended.
And let's call them out by name. West Ada School District. Yeah. We think you're f***ing idiots.
Yeah, I think that was just a really dumb move for a lot of reasons, mostly because it just brought more attention to you. It brought the negative attention that you didn't want to you.
What are you doing?
And not only that, but they ended up losing a very well-liked teacher because of it.
Oh, really? Did she quit?
Yeah, she left.
Oh, wow.
And I don't blame her because honestly, I would too. Especially with something like that where it is so basic, and I saw some people commenting things like, oh, well, kids don't need to be told that they're welcome there. You know what, dude? I don't know if you've met kids lately, but sometimes kids are kind of dumb and you need to explain things to them explicitly so that they understand how things are.
It could be said that they're children who are currently being educated.
Right. Right.
With educational materials.
Yeah. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that, and I feel like having a classroom that feels safe and comfortable is always a good thing. Not only that, but realistically, there aren't that many options that you can choose for classroom decorations.
Well, and everyone is welcome here with different colored hands up. Yeah. That's saying what is actually the law that we've agreed to in this country, which is there shall be no discrimination on the basis of race.
Yes. Exactly.
That's all that's saying.
Right.
Who could possibly disagree with that? Anyway, Sarah Inama is a 6th grade history teacher. We didn't say this at Lewis and Clark Middle School in Meridian, Idaho. She says she's not going to comply.
Yeah. I mean, I don't blame her. I think that if you want to keep your job, you kind of have to, but it sounds like that wasn't necessarily her number one priority. And frankly, with the teacher shortage around here, and just in general, I kind of don't blame her because right now she's got her pick of the pie.
Well, now
she can go anywhere she wants.
Right. I was going to say, and now that reasonable people are discussing this, we sure think so.
Yeah.
I wonder if the school district's going to go, oh, yeah, we're idiots, and back down.
That's kind of my hope.
Because you are.
Yeah, that was a dumb
It's a
thing to do.
dumbass move.
Yeah. Yeah,
West
making
Ada
sure that you
School
have
District.
fewer teachers. Yeah, that's really
Everyone
smart.
is welcome here.
Yeah, just dumb. And it was just so unreasonable. There
Everyone
was
is
no good
welcome,
reason.
important,
Like,
accepted.
there was no excuse at this point.
But you were saying that somebody believed that these signs with the innocuous messages, everyone
Right.
is welcome here, and everyone is welcome, important, accepted, respected, encouraged, valued, and equal.
Right, I saw
They
this.
believed the signs had coding in them somewhere?
So, okay, I saw a comment on one of the local news sources pages where they talked about this article, where some guy had said, "Oh, well, it's not that the signs are saying anything explicitly bad, but it's code that shows that the teacher supports critical race theory and LGBTQ people."
Okay,
and stuff
Dan
like
Brown,
that.
put the code together for us. Draw it all out for us.
Right.
Which disciple holding what chalice
Yeah.
tells us that Jesus had a second wife?
Well, and also,
Like,
let's pretend for a second.
if you're going to say there's a code, say what the code is.
Right.
Because I don't see it.
Right. I thought it was really dumb. Like, just because this picture depicts people of different skin tones doesn't necessarily mean anything to do with critical race theory. It's just that there are multiple people with different skin tones that are welcome here. That's it.
Yeah. It does
But-
share a common word, and
Well-
that is race.
And also, you know what? Let's pretend that this is a code. Let's pretend for a second that that was actually exactly this teacher's intention with these, was that she was trying to put a code up that she believes in critical race theory and is okay with gay people. Okay? Let's say that is the case. Do you really think that these kids would figure that out?
Right.
Do you think a bunch
they
of
would
middle
decipher
schooler-
the...
Right,
Yeah.
right. Is there a little baby Dan Brown in there ready to write the next Da Vinci Code?